Welcome to the Environmental Transformation Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Grady, and our mission is to bring you interviews with industry leaders in the environmental industry with the goal of providing you information about industry trends, climate change, future energy, circular economy, and service providers making an impact in the industry. And today we have Isabel Aagaard, who is the designer and owner of LastObject. And Isabel, thanks for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, okay, so a lot of listeners are going, Last Object? Who is Last Object? I don't know anything about Last Object. So, how is this related to the Environmental Transformation Podcast? So, Isabel, let's let the listeners know what you're doing and what how cool is this company that you're running? I think it's great. Let's talk about it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's also a really fun story, the whole name. But Last Object is a design company that are creating design reusable versions of single-use items. So we
Yeah,
are reducing single-use, the need for single-use in the world. That is our mission.
I
So
love
we
it.
are creating different designs to make sure that you can stop throwing all these things out.
Well, I mean, okay, so what kind of things are you designing? Let's talk
Yes.
about that.
Get into specifics.
Yeah, like that
Um,
sounds great because there's such a big I guess I could almost call it a pandemic in society of using single-use plastics in a sense, right? For everything that we consume as consumers in the world, and I think it's becoming such a problem that I'm glad to see people like you trying to solve it.
that's awesome. Yes. We created some different elements, but they're mostly in the bathroom department right now. So we've
Uh-huh.
done a Q-tip, a reusable Q-tip, one that you can clean your ears with, one that you can edit your makeup with. We have reusable rounds to replace cotton rounds
Uh-huh.
or cotton um uh, you call them balls, I think. Cotton
Yeah.
balls, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we also went into the tissue industry and did some really nice like modern version of the handkerchief.
Oh, okay. That's great. I think so. This last swab is the Q-tip kind of thing that you can clean your ears or your makeup or the kid's nose or whatever, right? I mean, there's a lot of uses for that thing. But
Hmm.
it comes in this like little neat little box or package in a sense. Talk about, how you put this stuff together. What's involved here?
Yes, so the our last swab is the box in itself is made of ocean-bound plastic, so plastic that would
Oh,
end up in the oceans that we're
uh,
cleaning up and repurposing.
okay.
And then we have the core of the rod is very strong and durable so you can really use it. All of our products, like we have durability as like the main focus. It's really a key element to our success. We need the products to just withhold a lot of uses. So this is really sturdy and really strong. It's PP enforced with glass fiber. And then the buds, the ends, are a TPE. We chose this. It's kind of a silicone, or it has a silicone feel, but it's a different rubber because it has like a chemical bind with a rod itself. I'm getting very technical, but it's just
No,
really
this
fun.
is good. No, I like it. Yeah, keep it going. This is good.
So that the ends can't pop off, the buds can't pop off
Right.
and get mist in your ears or something. So
Yeah.
there's yeah. So we really like we actually I just did like this campaign folder today where I was like telling like I was doing all these arrows and saying like, oh, this is made of this and this is made of this and this, and then our brand manager was like, well, it's not that important what everything is made of. I think it's so interesting. So I like put it there everywhere. Like you just have to tell them like how it feels or what it is. But I like being
Yeah.
specific.
Okay, so let's give a little background to about you, Isabel. You're where are you located at? So people could like, where's Isabel from? That's interesting. Where are you from?
We're all the local team here is from Copenhagen. We're from Copenhagen in Denmark.
Okay, great. So you're in Denmark. That's awesome. In Copenhagen, I hear that's a beautiful city. I've not been there, but I hear it's just amazing. Um, Okay, so you've got a whole design team there, and who's part of the team?
Yeah, so the design team is me, my
Yeah.
brother, and Cole, our like design partner. So we're
Okay.
three designers, and we were the original three founders. So it was really weird building a whole company based on three designers, but
Right.
it made sense. We also can do other stuff. So we built it slowly, and now we're about 8 people here at the office, and we built our whole company and the team around freelancers.
Hmm.
So we have like enormously strong team of about 30 freelancers worldwide, so that we can get the best photographer, the best photo editor, sales assistant. It's amazing.
Yeah. Right. No, that's great. Yeah. Find out where the best resource is, and they don't have to be in your backyard anymore, right? They can be wherever.
Exactly.
That's great. And everyone's doing so much work remote these days. I mean, COVID's hit, right? And I think it's just demonstrated to society that what, you don't really need to go to the office every day to do work anymore. You can
No,
work from home. So work virtual. That's great. We're in the cloud.
exactly. And it's very sustainable. All that
You're
traveling is
right.
not good.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I think that's one of the benefits of the whole COVID situation is, how much greenhouse gas, that we've saved, in the planet because we're not driving our cars, right? And all that fuel. So, I mean, just, didn't have to consume it. No, it's good. Okay, so you've got a design team there, and you got a brother that's in the mix, and so sibling rivalry ever pop up in this whole process for you guys?
Every day. It's part of it. There's good and bad with any decision. This one too.
Yeah, that's great. So, okay, so how long have you guys been, organized? I mean, when did the company start?
Well, we're about more than 2 years now. 2 years and 3 months, I would say. So it's
Okay,
it's pretty new.
pretty new.
The boys have been working together since like for 10 years or something
I see.
crazy. So
Okay,
uh, so so they've been doing a lot of different things.
I see. And then when you came along, you're like, "Hey, I got some good design ideas too. Oh, by the way, they're like, more of this, fashion type stuff that would hit the demographics of the female. So because I don't know that a lot of guys are going to use these projects, but maybe let's talk about this because there could be some opportunities for the guys listening to go, I think I might want to use some of those products too. I mean, they may not use the rounds, but they might. But I mean, the tissues I could see for sure, right?
Mm. Yeah, the tissues and the buds are the last swap because, well, we all have ears that needs cleaning.
Sure. Right.
And well, I know it from my baby boy. I clean his ears like every week
Oh,
now. So that's a necessity. I don't know if it's a guy thing or a baby thing or what that's about,
it's
but
yeah, it's just probably a guy thing. Okay, so I really thought the products were pretty neat looking. They come in these cool little cases. So, I think they're like portable. You can throw them in your purse or in your backpack or your book bag or something, right? And then use it on the go. Um, Now you talk about like you can reuse these things up to like 1,000 times or something, right? Is that? I
mhm,
mean, like you guys tested this, hey, this thing will last at least 1,000, times. That's a lot of like resources that you're saving by just reusing this thing a lot, right? Talk about that.
exactly. Exactly. And it can be even more. It's very, and that's like with everything. If you buy a nice dress, some people are so good at like taking care of it, washing it nicely, and then it can just like withhold so many nights out. But and it's the same thing with our products. If we're just like we can at least hit a
At
thousand.
least. Okay,
And then
right.
from there on, it's really about how you take care of it, how you wash it, how you use it, like how rough. And then yeah, so it's very different from, for example, the tissues. They're really the prize winner because they have, I think, like a almost 4,000 uses in a pack.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's where you really can make a huge difference. Blowing your nose, and I think I actually calculated that every time you blow your nose in our handkerchiefs, you save the planet 2 liters of water just by one blow and washing it once.
Really?
Think about that,
Because
doing
of
that every
because
day.
of all the resources it takes to actually create,
One tissue.
One tissue. I mean, you're talking about the whole life cycle of the resource, right? So cutting the trees down, processing it, preparing it, sending it to market, all that stuff, right?
Exactly.
So that's kind of where that factors in with that 2 liter. That's pretty powerful thought when you're thinking about, why would I want to use reusable tissues and the handkerchief in the, I mean, I don't know, 40, 50 years ago, handkerchiefs were pretty common. I think when people would just carry one in their pocket or in their purse, but not so much lately. I don't know hardly anybody that carries a handkerchief.
Mm,
But unless I think maybe I would say females maybe do more than male, but I think
mm,
it's more the disposable ones though, Kleenex type, right? Just
exactly.
pair, one single use type.
And that's what's so crazy with single use. It's like it's not something that's been around for thousands of years. It's something that's come like the last 50. The toilet paper came 100 years ago. It's pretty new and it's not necessary. We haven't solved the toilet paper roll yet, but a lot of other single-use items are really not necessary.
Yeah, we might want to let that one sit for a bit. We can compost
Probably.
some of that stuff. No, but that's a good point, Isabel, because you're right. I think our society, across the globe, I mean, not just in the US, not just in Europe or whatever, but this whole mindset of just, using something once and we're done, right?
Mhm.
I've been talking lately on some of the podcast episodes that we're a fast food society, right? We want something fast, we're out the door, it's all packaged up, you dispose of your product, whatever you eat, and you're done. And what happened to just making meals? You got your plates, don't wash them up, reuse them. I mean, there's the same kind of concept, just keep reusing your plates and your utensils and your products, and instead of just making everything so disposable. um
Exactly.
I
And
mean,
what you don't think of is that these products, for example, if you take like a plastic cup, like that has been, you've taken the resources out of the earth, you have taken them over to a factory, you've repurposed them with energy and water and or created this product, and
yeah,
that has just been packaged in a package, in a package, in a package, so they can come on huge containers or
yeah,
on trucks, and then they're shipped, probably from the other side of the planet,
world.
yeah,
Right.
to then be used once and thrown out. It's just so weird when you look at it.
Right, right. No, and I agree. And so let's unpack this tissue box because it does look pretty cool. And oh, by the way, for the listeners, just we're gonna put it out there. We've got some product giveaways that we're gonna have with this episode. So Isabel has kindly, provided me some examples, product to give away to listeners. So what you're listening to today, check out on my website and on my social media some of the products that you can win as a giveaway. You just have to basically send me a message via my website. But we're going to give some of the stuff away, and we obviously we want you guys to also go to their website and look at their products because it's pretty cool. But talk about this box, this little like tissue box that you made, because it looks pretty cool, and the way it works. When I talked to you previously before the interview, I was like, oh, that's pretty ingenious. I like it.
Yeah, after we designed that one and we had Last Swab, we were looking at the product, we were like, we're actually box designers. Because that's really like, it's all about the box that the swab is in. It's all about the box that the tissues are in. The
Yeah.
tissues themselves are not, a huge invention. They're very just organic cotton, which are double hemmed, really good quality and soft, so that they're really nice
Hmm.
on the nose. You never have a red nose. But
That's
yeah, so
important.
it's very important.
Yeah.
So you have a 6 tissues in a little box, and you would actually it's very one-to-one to a normal single-use tissue um, packet. Isn't that what you call it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and we even designed it so it really looks like it. It's so important for us when we do these designs that we look like the single. You don't have to like look at it and be like, okay, how do I use this? How
Yeah.
how am I
Yeah.
gonna like put this in my ear? Or you have to just look at it and be like, ah, I get it. I'm gonna hold here. I'm gonna clean here.
Yeah.
So it looks like a tissue pack. And then the only thing is that you take the tissues from the bottom. So there's like a slit in the bottom of the case, which is silicone.
Hmm.
So it's really, really soft, 100% silicone. So it's also very easy to melt and create again.
Yeah.
And so you pull a tissue from the bottom and then you use it, and then you put it in the top flap. There's a silicone barrier that there will divide your dirties from your clean ones. And that
Yeah.
will be pushed downward every time you use a tissue. You put it on top of the other one, on top of the other one. And then at the end, you'll reach the silicone barrier in the bottom of your tissue, and then you know
Yeah, like
everything can go
they
to the
gotta go
washer.
wash them. Yeah, you gotta go wash them.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I saw, and when I was on the website, I was looking at it. The container, the silicone container of the tissues themselves, you can put that in the dishwasher, right?
Yeah.
You can put that in the dishwasher and clean it because you don't want all those dirties when you put the new ones back in there. You don't want the insides, messing everything up, right? So I really kind of thought that was kind of cool. So you can clean it. You can always keep them clean. Always know you've got this. Now, there was in the some of the screenshots that I saw on your website. There's like this other kind of a rag. It looks like that's associated with your handkerchiefs, and I'm not sure if that's part of this either. But is that some sort of washing rag or something? Cotton rag?
Like a mesh bag
Yeah, is that a
for
bag? Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. What is that? Is it a bag that this thing fits in?
it's actually that's a good question. I'm happy. I have to look at the website and see how that plays out. It's because when we started creating all these products, a lot of our customers came and were like, how do you wash them? And then we always say, put them in a washing bag in your washer,
Oh, okay.
because they're really small. So they, in some
Yeah.
washing machines and in some tumble dryer, they can just disappear. It's kind of like socks.
Oh,
You
I
don't
see. It's
understand
like,
why you have.
yes. It's like your pantyhose. You don't want to throw those in there. You got to put them in a little pantyhose bag inside the washer.
Yeah.
So it's the washing bag for the tissues in the washer. I
Exactly.
love
So
it.
it's just
Okay.
there's no invention here. It's really just a really simple mesh bag. Again, organic cotton and everything, but it was just an alternative. You don't already have one.
Right. Right. No, I like it. Okay, that makes sense. Totally makes sense. Well, so you've got those tissues, and that I think is I like it because it's portable, it's packable. Talk a little bit about those rounds that you have because they seem to also kind of fit in this single use reuse opportunity where you can reuse them a lot, and they've got you got some neat little designs on those little containers or holders too for those. Talk about that one.
Yes. So that's our rounds. The rounds themselves actually are made from 70% wood fiber and 30% cotton. So they're kind of a
Oh,
mixed product, and that makes them like they're kind of like a wonder. I love them because they're really hard and stiff when you have them in your hands, but then you dip them in water and then they become like cotton soft.
oh,
So they
okay.
like kind of transform. And then
I
you
see.
have 7 of these in a container, and the container is the same material as Last Swab. So
Uh-huh.
it's ocean-bound plastic.
Gotcha.
Um, and you simply just use them, actually put a little bit of water typically, also just not to use too much of your product. And then you can, remove your eye makeup, exfoliate, wash your face down. I actually even use them to take off my nail polish.
Oh, really? Wow.
Mm.
Okay. And talk about like what's been the response from industry and also like the consumers of your products because I mean it kind of feels like this is kind of getting some traction for you guys and it's starting to the awareness of this whole single use uh elimination of that is a big thing and talk a little bit about what you're hearing and feedback.
I think we've been very overwhelmed of like the response when we made a ear cleaning a cotton swab. We kind of thought that maybe it's just maybe this is too silly. Maybe that think people are going to think this is too gross.
Yeah, right.
And in the beginning when we sent it out, it was 50-50 if people were like, "Oh my God, this is awesome," or "This is disgusting." So that was kind of like the first response, and then we got better
Uh-huh.
at like explaining the story and explaining the washing, and you would also when you have it yourself, you'll see that it isn't and it's not, and then it's just been really positive. We've done a little bit of edits to our designs. We always do that constantly. Even the swab, which has been on the market for 2 years, we keep, reinventing, reshaping, redoing just small tweaks, and people just really like it. But we also really listen to our customers. So, for example, when they come back with feedback or something is, for example, um, a lot of people have been asking us for a baby version, because it,
Oh,
or like with a safety pin, because a lot of people don't really feel comfortable cleaning their ears. And so we created that, and that's coming out this month actually. So
oh,
we really try to listen as good as possible. We even did the last tissue pack. Everybody was saying, "Oh my God, make a box." And then we actually did that. And it wasn't our idea, it was literally our
customers
customers
telling you,
telling me
yeah.
like, "I want a home version." Okay. And then we did a home version. We had to like really be creative here, but when we finally nailed the design, it was overwhelming. Like, so the more we listen to our customers, the more feedback like they give us on Instagram, on Amazon, on, it's just, it's so valuable on Kickstarter. We really try to keep improving and keep changing up our designs or making something that people are actually asking for.
Yeah, no, you're right. So you started off with the Q-tip, the rounds, and the little pocket uh, tissue, right?
Hmm.
And now you're saying the customers are coming back saying, "Hey, we want a home version of the tissue box." And I'm looking on the website, you got tissue boxes full of, reusable handkerchiefs.
Hmm.
That's cool. I mean, it looks really good. And I'm assuming you probably offering those in different colors, or you probably will be pretty soon.
Yes. We will. We're
I
gonna
mean,
keep. In the beginning, we did a lot of colors. We actually did like all the. We divided it so like the cleaning of the ears pins were the basic last swab is what we call it. Is it was very like green and blue, and then the baby or the beauty, the ones to edit makeup because they have a little bit of a different form to them. They were more
mhm.
like girl colors, but people got so mad because the girls also wanted the ear cleaning, and some of
Yeah.
the makeup girls wanted blue, and so we ended up like saying, okay, we're gonna cut some of the colors off, and then we're gonna do all the colors for all our products so we don't have this issue.
Hey, there you go. I mean, so um what has been the uptake in, like, say, the cosmetic fashion world with Last Object? I gotta imagine there's been some interesting, maybe you got some competition out there. I don't know. I'm not really in this market to know, so I'm kind of dumb in this area. But I'm just asking, what's the feedback from the cosmetic industry?
They're really excited, and they're excited because it's sustainable but colorful. That's what
Yeah,
we've gotten back most. Um, the beauty industry was actually not really our aim. We kind of ended up there. Our aim has always been household items,
right,
um, everything that you would use on a daily basis or a weekly basis. And so this like shift when we did the rounds and that we're becoming more like a beauty brand, I love it. I think it's awesome.
right,
And I think it's a really good angle into a lot of different homes.
right,
But but it wasn't actually our main focus. And I think that is that's kind of a strength now because we are completely different from any other beauty brand. We don't have like our fonts are not swirly and girly,
right.
and we're not
Yeah,
going for that. So, but we're not going for the eco fight. Everything has to be bland and not taste of anything. So it's
right. You're a good little middle of the road there with your own twist of your passion of eliminating single use, but giving some nice variety and great solutions for everyday stuff.
exactly. And I'm sure we're gonna have so much competition. Like I'm just saying this because we're in the early states, but
Yeah,
it's going to be rough in a couple of years. We have to run fast to actually really build something now while we
right.
have a little bit of blue ocean around us.
Yeah, right. No, you're right. But you know what? You're kind of first on the block, and you're hitting the market strong, and that's awesome. I mean, so you've got COVID's hit. You've pivoted pretty quick with a nice little face mask kit too. Talk about that.
Yeah, that was I think looking back, that was maybe not the best decision, but we did. It was really fun. It was a really good design, actually. We wanted to do a kit because everybody was coming out with masks, and that's great. But like, how do you keep your mask? How do you keep your mask hygienic? And how do you actually have that next to your sanitary, like making a sanitary kit? So, so we did what we know best, silicone base case, and then you have the
Yep.
mask in one side slit down, so it's easy. There's no like opening. It's just like you just pull it out with
Right.
like with the tissues. We've
Yeah.
learned something from the different designs. And then
Right.
we have a on the side, it's a refillable spray bottle so that you can put, your own sanitizer, anybody else's sanitizer into that. So, and that was also very catering to our community where everybody is, making their own or have a special, like have a preference of all these different products. And we're not a beauty brand. I don't know that much
Yeah.
about all of
Yeah.
these
Hey,
liquids.
let them decide what
Mm,
they want. But here's the solution. Here's the containers you can use to use your own.
exactly. We're a box company.
No. Yeah, no. And you're doing it well, that's for sure. But you're keeping things clean, which is great. You're helping people stay hygienically clean. And I think that, the solution there with the mask, I like that. I saw that. I was like, whoa, that's kind of good. Because,
Mm,
unfortunately, now I don't know, this one might peter out for you because
mm-hmm.
if everyone gets their vaccines, we may not have to use this one as much. But hey, capitalize while you can is what I say, right?
And that's it. It was a product that, everything takes time. So
Right.
now when
Right.
everything is opening up, we're ready to ship.
Yeah, right. No, that's good. Oh, yeah. Now I see your little laundry bag thing. I was kind of wondering what that was, but now I know what it is. It's the laundry bag. That's really good. Now when okay, so I, personally, this is kind of like too TMI, too much information, but I use like two Q-tips to clean my ears, right? So I only know that thing comes in one. I would like to see two come in the box just for me, but but no, this is good. But no, I like it. So, what has been the biggest seller for you guys?
Well, it's actually Last Swab has been on the market for the longest time. People know it, and it was a first product. So basic Last Swab Basic has definitely been the best. But I'm telling you, the last couple months, LastRound has pivoted. So I think it's a tough fight now. I don't.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think that could actually overrun
Overtake?
our baby.
Oh, well, I could see that. I could see that because I mean, I think that's a piece of product that's maybe more used than, especially in the cosmetic world. And I think, the females on the listening on the phone probably, or on the phone, on the webcast will be the ones who would use this the most.
Maybe they are on the
uh,
phone.
they might be, well, if they're listening on their phone on the podcast, they'll be on the phone. Yes. Oh goodness. No, this is great. So, all right, well, let's talk about, like, I mean, how big is the company growing? I mean, like, what type of revenue you guys generating? Can you talk a little bit about, like, from when you started 2 years ago to now? I mean, how big is this getting for you guys?
Oh, I wish I had. I actually don't have the numbers. I'm really that's not my department.
No,
So
that's
I just get
fine.
like, are we reaching it? Are we not? I know that we have a goal this year to
Yeah,
eliminate 3 billion, so eliminate the need for 3 billion single-use items, and we are on point.
on point, huh?
So that's gonna happen. So we're
Wow,
excited.
wow.
And I think last month we celebrated having sold 1 million Last Swabs.
Okay, so that's there you go. So that's big time, right? I
Yeah.
mean, okay. So just for the listeners, you go on the websites, you'll see this. This last swab is pretty darn cool, and you sold 1 million of those. That's amazing. Good,
Mm.
congratulations. Two
Thank you.
years. I mean, that's amazing. Oh wow. And all the benefit that you're helping, solve a problem with single use, and all the resources that are not being consumed by, consumers, just washing the products and reusing them. So let's talk about the washing and cleaning of these things. Like,
Mhm.
what's the best way to clean these products? Because we haven't really talked about it, but is it the same for all the products?
No. Last Swab is just you wash them in your hand. That's actually the easiest because when you've cleaned your ears or you've put on or edited your makeup, you just simply dab it in soap and wash it under the running water. So that's very
Mm-hmm.
easy.
Mm-hmm.
Last round is a bit more. I'm just telling you what I do. I know we just
Mm-hmm.
say wash them in the washer, but
Yeah.
what I typically do is that I use them and then I dry them and then I use them for because there are 7 in a box.
Right.
So I'll use them throughout, morning, evening, and probably a week. Well, I'll use the same ones. And then when a week has passed, on Sundays, I have this washing program. I put them all in a washing bag, and then I just get them all rinsed out in just
Uh,
in with my normal laundry. It's
yeah. Right.
there's nothing new here,
Right.
and the same with the tissue. The tissues I wash every time. I don't reuse them, but
Right.
the tissues I use throughout the week, and when I get to the silicone, you have to clean
Yeah.
them. So that's easy.
Right.
So that's just the washer. And then I tumble dry mine because I have a baby and I have to tumble dry so much anyway. But
Right.
when I don't have to do that, I actually hang them outside because they just smell better and it's better for the
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. No, that's great. What so the last swab seems to be the number one, seller, but you telling me last round's coming up. Are there any new products that you guys are kind of like ready to maybe release here soon that is going to be like an exciting new piece of product that, hey, somebody needs to get their hands on that?
Yes, yes. We are working. I probably can't disclose too much, but I'm working on launching a new product in 2 months.
Okay.
So that's the end of summer, like August-ish. We'll
Uh-huh.
see. Like
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
still I'm still getting the last prototypes and we're almost there, but I want it to be perfect before I set a date. We're still in the beauty or we're not in the beauty department. We're in the bathroom department. We're still gonna be
Okay.
in a bit of the icky area of the house. I kind of want to stay there for a while. We have a lot of different solutions in the bathroom area, but at some point I think we're going to move into the kitchen.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. All right. That sounds good. I like that. I could see, dish towels or something like that coming. I don't know. I'm kind of
Mhm.
thinking there's something in that range. Paper
You're not off.
towels.
Yeah, you're not off.
Okay, there's a little teaser for everybody. It's coming. It's coming. No, this has been good. Well, I mean, I think that so what really drove you to this passion of developing a product that had this eco-friendly, I mean, what was behind that for you? Why did you feel like I need to do something?
It was kind of a collective mindset. We were all three working here at this office together, just like in a joint office space. I was doing some designs for hospitals, and the boys were doing a lot of like just more like chairs and normal furniture. And we were having lunch, and we just kept coming back to like, what do we really want to do in life? What do we want to design? And 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 I felt like I love designing. I've always loved designing
Mm-hmm.
for different industries. I'm not picky, and the hospital industry is meaningful, but it's not purposeful. Or it doesn't have that where I feel like I can see an immediate change that I'm making.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just doing small edits, or I'm doing, I didn't want to do a chair more. I didn't want to do a pillow more. I didn't, we wanted
Yeah.
to do something that really had a meaning behind it. And we'd all had enough money to start something new, and we could do that for at least a year. So it was also like, okay, let's try it out. Let's try to do something we really want to do. And then
Right.
if it fails, we'll go back to what we can
Doing our
earn
day
money
job.
on. But it just went so quick, and then we quit all other projects in like 2 months because the Kickstarter went so well, and we saw that this is not just one product. This is actually this is going to be a collection of products. So that's where Last Object in itself kind of also got created from our first product, which was Last Swab.
So talk a little bit about like, did you have an environmental awareness as a kid growing up that like, you always kind of had this in your DNA, so to speak, where is important to you.
Definitely, definitely. I was always very fascinated by trash. And I remember I was building this machine at one point where you could like grind plastic and different. Found out how you could sort plastic, and then you could
Hmm.
grind it, and then you could heat it up, and you could do your own molds. You could do a little ashtray, whatever you want, and then you could
Yeah.
fill in and do these really really beautiful stuff. And it was very DIY, and it was just like the environment. I went to the IT university, so mixing that with the technology with technology in general. I That's always been an interest, and I've done a lot of weird projects. I've never done anything that was so scalable like what we're doing now, or anything that's so impactful. It's been very on your own DIY basis. Like I didn't have normal glasses at my apartment. I only had jars from random things I've bought throughout the
Spaghetti jars.
years. Yeah, exactly. And then I just washed them up, and then I had, a glass more. And then sometimes they
Right.
got a little disgusting, and then I had to throw them out and but it was
Yeah.
never, I never bought a glass,
Right.
So that like mindset, that hippie style, was something
Bohemian
that,
there. You were into it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's cool though. That's cool. I like it. Well, talk a little bit about like, okay, so you got your initial design started and you talk about this Kickstarter process. Talk a little bit about how you actually got the business off the ground.
Yeah. We We did a lot of Kickstarters beforehand. This is not our first one. It's the first successful one, but we did a lot of very not successful Kickstarters, and then very little successful Kickstarters. And we found that the reason why we actually chose to do that was because it's a really good way of validating your design as a designer.
Hmm.
We can sit around a table, us three, and be like, oh my god, this is amazing, oh my god, everybody's gonna want this. We did these like little cubes right before LastObject, which we thought were mind blowing. And and it and it was just us.
Right.
There's like nobody else really that thought
That
that was
thought that
fun,
though, yeah. They were
or
like,
that was like a great
it's
idea.
like it's okay, but yeah.
And we're still crazy about the idea. Like when we have time, we're gonna create this little collection for ourselves. But so in that was just a really good example of like, okay, that's really good that we didn't start up production, we didn't get everything packaged, shipped, and then there was no sales, and then we would fight for years getting our stock sold. That's not sustainable. So
Right.
it was really a really good way of kind of testing the waters. Like, is this something that's completely crazy, or are you also up for putting your money on it?
Right.
So that's how we got everything. We designed it. I think we took like 3 months to get really close to the final design of Last Swab. And then we made a Kickstarter. Everything was 3D printed. There was no real swab at that point. We hadn't produced anything. So everything was computer renders and 3D prints that didn't work. So it was really yeah, really bootstrapping at a high level.
That's great. No, that sounds like a really fun, exciting process as you were kind of working through that. I mean, now talk about, do you guys have investors that support the business? Or is it just like you were able to start it up and you three got it going?
Yeah. Yeah, we because of Kickstarter, we and because of our previous designs, we were able to run for a year, and Kickstarter made it possible for us to put money into the new product. So really that was just the easiest way to do. Now
Hmm.
we're almost 2.5 years in, and we're 100% founder owned. So
Nice.
we've given our new, like, we have a couple of new guys who are on board here at the office that we've given percentages to, because we can't give
Yeah.
high salary, but
Right.
you could be part of the
Ownership.
game. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's really amazing, because that also makes the whole team very tight, and
Yeah.
everybody's gonna go that extra mile. Um,
Absolutely.
so that's awesome. And we yeah, but no, we haven't gotten investment. We are now in the midst of starting that process up. That is a whole different world. I know nothing about it, and I don't have anything to do with the process, so that's great.
You just want to keep designing, coming up with those good ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, be the brand ambassador. That's right. No, that's good. I mean, I love what you guys are doing here. I think it's going to catch I mean, it seems like it's already catching like wildfire, really. But where's your biggest sales coming from?
The US, still the US. We were actually, when we started on Kickstarter, because that's US based, we were about like 80% orders from the US, and now it's 50. So,
Okay.
so we've gotten, built up some of the other countries, but we're still very, very heavy US based. That's yeah, have a lot of
Well,
customers there. So that's amazing.
okay. And so where what's the easiest place to find your products for the listeners if they want to find it? Like, where can they get it on, you know, Amazon? Like, can they get it on or go to your own website? What's the best way to get a hold of it?
I would say our website, or that's just because I know all the products are there and all our
Yeah.
refilling options, and yeah. So
So
lastobject.com.
lastobject.com, right?
Mm-hmm. But you can
Yeah.
also, if that's easier, you can also find us on Amazon and in local shops. We're actually in quite a few mom and pop shops and bigger stores. We just got into MoMA,
Okay.
so that was a big deal for us last week.
MoMA. Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other retail outlets that you guys are, people would name recognition wise, they go, oh, okay, that's another name I would know. Like
We're in package
Macy's, are you
free.
in package free? Okay.
Yeah. We're getting into some really big stores, but it's also a slow process. Anthropology we're in. That's a big one in the
That's a
US.
big store. Yeah, that's a
Mm.
big one. A lot of young millennials are shopping in that one. Gen Zs, should I say, too, right? People my
Hmm.
age probably not so much, but that's okay.
Your daughter will take some of them home for you, I'm sure.
That's right. Yes, she will. She will. She's getting ready to move to Chicago soon, so she'll probably be shopping on those spots up there. No, that's good. Well, Isabel, I mean, you guys are doing such great work here. I love the the passion about single use, how it's affecting the resources we have, that we're eliminating these things. I think continue. In my opinion, if you continue pressing in on that, these products are going to continue just like go off the shelf. You're gonna be out.
Yeah.
You're like, I got to keep restocking.
We hope so. We hope so. And we hope that we can keep being innovative. I think that would be really a goal. It's about, getting more innovative products into our line, but it's also about getting out in, Macy's, getting out in big chains, getting out where you would actually be buying the single use. We want to, at some point, be that you would go to Whole Foods and you would go to the aisle where you get cotton swabs, and
Yeah,
then you would be like, oh wait, there Last Object has a reusable alternative for this, don't they? And then
right.
we're on the other shelf with all the different, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that's you know what? I'm gonna be investing in Last Object because I see it coming. You guys are gonna take off. This is awesome. This is great. Now I think I'm gonna watch you guys. I'm gonna keep a close tab on how you guys are growing because this is great. And then hey, maybe what we'll do is have you come back on and maybe next year, and then you can tell the listeners about the great new products you have and some success stories. Maybe find out what's happening with you guys in other countries. I know you guys are looking to expand. Sounds like the U.S. is a big market for you, but hey, Europe, Australia, Middle East. I mean, you got a lot of places you can be growing. So
Exactly.
yeah, this is great. This is great. Well, Isabel, thank you so much for coming on to the show today. I think that the listeners are gonna. Well, let's I think there's gonna be a lot of women listeners that are gonna love this episode. The male guys are probably gonna, yeah, but hey, we're focusing on a specific demographic kind of today, and an area that we haven't even talked about, but you're talking about some products that are very impactful, that make a big difference, and it's got purpose and passion. I think you guys did a great
Mhm.
job with this. This is awesome.
Hmm. I'm so happy. Yes, and you have to remember, if you're a guy listening, that it's a really good gift.
Ah, yes, that's the money shot. Way to go, Isabel. I love that parting shot. That was great. And hey, guys, take that words of wisdom that she just dropped on you guys because that's important. Thanks so much, Isabel. Really appreciate your time today, and looking forward to getting this out in the coming weeks here. And I'll make sure that we tag you on LinkedIn and social media, and then you guys can promote it on your side too.
Awesome. We'd love to. Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
having
thank.
me on.
Yeah, and we're gonna give some products away, everybody. So tune in on social media. We're gonna push this out and give free giveaways, and you guys can, try it out and provide some feedback. It'd be great. All right. Well, thanks, Isabel. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.